Everybody, and welcome to the studentloanjustice.org live stream for August 31st, Monday night. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I'm going to get right into it tonight, folks. I want to keep this to less than 10 minutes. Point number one, the student loan system in this country is now failed. 80% of all student loan borrowers will never be able to repay their loans. The default rate for everybody walking around right now is probably in excess of 70, if not 80%, maybe more. These loans have got to be canceled. It's not your fault this is a failed lending system. It's the lending system's fault. These loans were stripped of nearly every consumer protection imaginable, including some, like bankruptcy, that were called for in the Constitution, ahead of the power to declare war, ahead of the power to raise an army. It's a failed lending system. It's not your fault. The loans have got to be canceled. This is a big government lending monstrosity, the likes of which our nation has never before seen. And at this point, they are a national threat. Now, the bad guys, that is, all the people in and around Washington, D.C. and private companies, in other words, everybody making money on this, the student loan swamp, they know it's a failed lending system. So folks, we have got to come together. There are 44 million people in the country who are freaking out about their student loans. There's 55 million out there who either have loans co-signed on them. 44 million of them are losing sleep at night. That is larger than the combined armies of every nation on earth. So we have got a massive muscle to flex. We started a petition on change.org calling for exactly what I just said. And by the way, we called for an executive order, a presidential executive order canceling the loans. The president can do this without needing congressional approval, without needing one dime of taxpayer money, without adding one penny to the national debt. He can cancel 85% of all student loans, whether it's this president or the next. Our petition now has 563,000 signatures, 564,000 signatures. We need to get up to 1 million. If we can get to 1 million, the sky is the limit. We can become an unstoppable force, but we need your help. We've been doing this for 15 years, folks. We've been featured on 60 Minutes, and the New York Times, Los Angeles Times, NPR, PBS, Fox News, Newsmax, Vice News, Rolling Stone magazine, many other places. And I can tell you that when you do nothing, nothing happens. It is now time for the citizens to band together. Congress cannot create loan cancellation. They cannot do it. The president can, by executive order. All the stuff you're hearing about right now, about loan cancellation from the various presidential candidates, from members of Congress, all of those plans are doomed to fail. They will wind up much like any number of student loan cancellation programs already in place. Like, for example, the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Less than 1% are actually making it through, because the Department of Education has no desire or intentions of canceling any loans, and they can find any number of reasons to disqualify people. That's what they've always done. That's what they're doing now, and that is what they will do with any loan cancellation program put to them by Congress, no matter how well-intentioned. That is just a fact. So we are it, folks. Our proposal for loan cancellation is absolutely the only way that these loans are going to go away. And as I said, folks, it's a failed lending system. Nobody is paying right now because of the coronavirus, but when the suspension is lifted, almost nobody will resume paying. This could have a good outcome, and the good outcome is what I just said, as described in our petition. The president acknowledges this failed lending system for what it is, whether it's this president or the next, does the right thing, cancels all federally owned student loans. That's 85% of all student loans. And comes up with a better way to finance higher education in a way that the colleges can't jack their prices beyond belief. They have to charge reasonable amounts in a way that doesn't conquer and enslave our citizens. Those are John Adams' words, by the way, not mine. And that's precisely what is happening right now. We do not have to take this, folks. No other generation has been sabotaged the way our generation has been. And the current younger generation, the people who are either in college now or about to go to college, they're getting hit far, 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 far worse even than we did. We don't have to take it. And quite frankly, we all have a patriotic duty to band together and end this lending system. You know, there's a coronavirus crisis going on right now. We need fiscal stimulus. There is no better way to stimulate the economy. Right now, $100 billion a year is being sucked out of our economy in interest alone. And by the way, when the lending system was first created, the president back then, 1965, Lyndon Baines Johnson, he declared that the loans would be free of interest. And if there is to be a federal lending system going forward, yeah, those loans should be free of interest. But we're not worried about the future student loan system or not down the road. This lending system right now, the ones that you are being conquered and enslaved by, has to go. 80% of all borrowers never be able to pay. It's a failed lending system. Please believe that. Now, we have to get our petition up to 1 million signatures, folks. It begins with you. We can become an unstoppable force when you take it upon yourself. You make it your mission to get everybody you know and 5 times that amount of people out there who maybe you don't know to sign that petition. You can tweet about it. Tweet it to famous people. Might work. You can get everybody you know to sign. That you can do right now. If you know 5 people with student loans, 4 of them are freaking out about them. They will never be able to pay. You can paste the link to the petition in 15, 20, 25, 100, 150, 500 places all over the internet. That will help tremendously. Pick any one of those things. Pick all of them. And maybe the last thing I'll say is getting media to report on this petition is incredibly important. We're not doing too bad. We've gotten coverage from Fox News and Minnesota Progressive Radio and national radio like Coast to Coast and C-SPAN, and we were all over the TV locally here in Wisconsin last week, on and on and on. But we can do way better. We have 2 months to go before the election, folks, and people are going to start voting before that. So I hope you're feeling me. We are all we've got. We are the pioneers on this, folks, like it or not. So I hope you will take that seriously and punch a little above your weight. You know, if you've got a little more time on your hands these days because of coronavirus, I hope that you would spend an hour a day promoting this petition wherever you can. I'm telling you, folks, it will help. If we can get to 1 million, we can get to 2 million. If we can get to 2 million, we can get to 4 million. Our upper limit is like 44 million people, if not more. But it starts with you. It always has. So calling a news organization, contacting them, go to their tips page, find an email address for a reporter that you like, for a show that you like, or maybe even that you don't like. We will go on Rush Limbaugh or Rachel Maddow and everywhere in between. We can be doing interviews all day long. You don't have to do the interview if you don't want. You can send them our contact information. justice@studentloanjustice.org is our email. Our phone number is area code 202-594-1120. My name is Alan. We are very happy to answer all of the tough questions. We can do all the talking, but the way it works best is if you, sitting there, contact them. And maybe you have to contact 50 different news organizations before one of them bites. It's kind of a numbers game. But please, do it. It will be worth it. And by the way, if you want to be interviewed, send us an email as well and tell us a short version of your story. Right now, we've got a national story brewing, and we've got a local story in Chicago brewing. So that second one first. If you happen to live in or around Chicagoland area, send me an email, justice@studentloanjustice.org. Tell me a little bit about your situation. And include a few words about what you will do when these loans are canceled. That's sort of the gist of the story. So I said I was going to keep it short tonight, folks. I usually go 20 minutes, and we're coming up on 10 minutes now. So I did it. I was short. I was concise, to the point. Get those points. Act on those points. These are your loans. This is your problem. We need you. We are all we've got. But at the same time, folks, we're all we need. When you try, we will win. Good luck, Godspeed, and in the immortal words of Benjamin Franklin, let us hang together and win this, lest we all hang separately. Good night.